everybody. Welcome to Grow Up This Show. It is now a show, everybody. Shout out to Niles Abston for having me have a segment on his show, Secret Black People Meeting, for this last year, and I'm so grateful to him and to Eric Abinante. So, shout out to the whole Channel 310 crew. And this is Grow Up. So just want to give you a quick intro for what we're going to have today. I've got man on the streets. I went outside, y'all. Yes, I went outside. I talked to people and I'm asking them some questions and they're going to give me some straight up answers. And I got some awesome interviews for you guys to check out. Also, I have a Grow Money segment that I'm going to be doing on the show where I'm going to be having people that are not financial experts at all, okay? People who honestly just have learned the hard way or by research financial information and putting it in layman's terms, because let's be honest, it can get really boring talking about money. It can be overwhelming, but we all got money problems because we're not in the 1%, because I don't know any 1% that's following me right now. So, but if you want to click. But so we're all out here hustling and doing our best. And there are little steps you can take that I have met some great people, and I'm going to be sharing what I've learned, and I'm also going to be having them as guests on throughout the season. And on top of that, I have a Growing Pain interview, and this week we're featuring Yema Nkele, who is going to be having his own show on Channel 310 coming up as well. So I got some cool stuff coming at y'all. I'm ready to go. I got the Superwoman, logo on. I got a really poppin' dress on under here, but I'm gonna save it to see, I'm gonna let you see it later. So, all right, guys, I'm Chelse Greaux, and let's get Grow Up started. It's time for a new segment on Grow Up. This is called Grow on the Streets. And what I'm going to be doing is coming up to people like the lovely Breezy here. Say hi, Breezy.
Hi, everybody.
So what we're going to be doing is I'm going to ask Breezy a few questions, and she's going to tell me if that was a G move, good thing to do, good idea, the person was in the right, or was it an X move, the person was in the wrong, bad idea, right? Guess what we just ran into? Fellow comedian Jared Levin. Jared, say what's up to everybody.
Yo, what's up, man? How's it going? I'm baked.
Yeah, this is perfect, because we only want to do this with people we run into on the street, so it's kind of great we ran into him. He just boarded across. He's going to an audition, break a leg,
yeah.
But he's going to take a minute to talk with us real quick, all right?
Definitely.
All right, so the first one I'm going to ask you is, have you heard what happened with Jim Acosta and Trump? Okay, so in layman's terms, Jim Acosta is a CNN White House correspondent. He was asking Trump some tough questions about his policies, and Trump got into an argument and called him a bad person.
I did see that, and then the other reporter got up and spoke up for him. And he told them that they were both horrible.
Exactly. So then the next thing you know, now a couple days after, CNN's actually suing Trump in order to get Jim Acosta's rights back. Mm-hmm. So now you saw the clip, right? So and we'll give you a highlight to the clip for everyone who hasn't seen. But now, do you think on Trump's part, was that a G move or was that an X move?
Oh, definitely an X move. I seen the whole conversation. He was swerving anyone who had any questions for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and some people felt like he was trying to avoid answering, questions.
And he said his whole name, the company he was working for. There was no need for him to say his name or the company. He could have said, "I don't want to answer that question."
Right, exactly. So that was an X move. All right, cool. So we're on the same page on that. This ain't news, okay? I'm gonna give my opinion. Okay?
Sorry, Trump.
It's right. Do you think that was G or X move? Let me know.
Dude, Trump did the one thing that blew my mind. He made CNN look good. X move, man. All that pro-war shit they done, and all of a sudden, I'm like, oh my god, you actually made CNN look like they were doing their job for once. Marks.
Okay. So you think that was an X move? Okay.
Oh, X move, bro.
All right,
I love
all
X.
right. So you and I, we on the same page now. Okay,
Okay.
first. All right. Okay, fantastic. So this next thing, I'm going to show you a photo of Serena Williams GQ cover. There she is, lovely. We'll be putting this on the screen for you guys to check out as well. So beautiful. She's slaying.
So
Body, baby,
okay.
baby. Who had a baby?
Right.
Who? She didn't.
Where?
So my thing is like, you see how woman is written in quotation marks.
And how man is crossed off.
And man is crossed off. Right. So now over the years, you know, Serena has experienced a lot of discriminatory remarks about her shape, and people have said that, oh, she's too masculine or this or that. And so now the uproar on like Twitter and Instagram, everyone's upset about the fact that the woman was in quotation marks, especially after what happened with her, recently with the referee and the argument with that. People said she was too aggressive,
And not at all.
not at all. She stated facts. Facts are facts, right? Anyway, side note. But in your opinion, they're saying that they're blaming the GQ. They're saying GQ should have paid more attention to that and the innuendo. They're putting woman in quotation marks next to Serena, considering how people have made fun of her body type, for years.
Yes.
So my question to you is: was that a G move or was that an X move? Do you think the GQ maybe would say should have been more pay more attention to that, or what are your thoughts on that?
I feel like they were completely aware of what they were doing. I feel like it's disrespectful because there's been multiple women in there that they did not put in quotations with them.
Okay.
So I feel like it was definitely a big to her.
Yeah, so it was that would be like a G move or an X move to you?
X move.
X move. All right. Hopefully we don't X out y'all. All right. Do you think that GQ allowing that to come on was a G move or an X move?
Oh fuck, man, that's a lot of pressure, man. But I could go either. I don't know, man. Yo, here's the thing, though. Serena Williams is feminine because when you watch female talks, you go dude, that's a woman right there. But I don't know.
All right,
that's
so
a question mark.
That's a question mark. So you could go G or X on that.
I could it depends how Serena feels,
Okay. Well, I haven't seen any really reaction from her yet.
Okay.
So it's kind of fresh.
I live in social media. I'm not allowed to have my own opinion.
Okay. All
Unless
right.
it's CNN. You suck.
So our first stalemate. Okay.
Stalemate.
All right. Hey, so this one is actually I'm gonna show you a little history, and again we'll put this on the screen for you guys to see as well. But all right. So Mozart, you're familiar with Mozart, the composer, right? So I follow a page on Instagram called Facts and Sciences, and I really like it because they always put interesting historical things on there, like fun facts, right?
Okay.
So this is Mozart disliked a performer named Adriana Ferrace del Bene, okay? So knowing her tendency, when she sang, she would drop her chin on her low notes and throw her head back on her high notes. And so he wrote a song for her that had constant ups and downs. So whenever she sang, she bobbed like a chicken like this. So she'd be like, So now they didn't get along. And I'm sorry, when I read this, it tickled me because it's shady,
Yeah,
but
it looks like that's not good movement to be doing.
I'm okay. Now, do you think that there was a G move or an X move for Mozart to do that? You know what I'm saying? With the girl it was known that they had a beef, but she was a very talented singer. So he could have just not put her in the show, but he was like, okay, girl, you can sing.
I feel like that's definitely an X move. I feel like it's a dig, but it's like I'm gonna allow you to sing, but I'm gonna make a joke out of it. I'm gonna make it look ridiculous.
Right. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, Breezy, this is what we gotta separate on. I think this is a G move just because. Because listen, this is the thing. Sometimes, what's he gonna do? She's a woman. He couldn't, if they beat and she got on his nerves. I mean,
That's true.
it's just something that a shady queen would be like. You know what? I mean, the man wore a wig. I mean, I don't put it past him to be
Alright, when you put it like that, it's like, okay, maybe he had his little revenge.
You're right. That is
like
a little.
Kiki.
The song, I'm sure, sounded good. Like, he wasn't gonna put up a trash song.
Right.
Mozart.
He's just gonna look trash, but you're gonna sound trash. The lyrics they're gonna love. The movements, they're gonna agree with me.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay.
All right.
that.
So basically, he wrote a song so that she would be like, kind of like a mama So do you, because they had beef, you know?
Yeah.
So they had beef, so he made her sound like a chicken. Or look like a chicken. So do you think this was a G move?
You've been in this situation where you hate a comic, right? And you wanted to do some shit that would make him really uncomfortable. Oh man, that's a great move. That's a G move.
Oh
man.
yes!
Right there you
Yes,
go.
I agree. I thought it was a G move too.
That's how you fuck
Okay.
someone.
All right, fine, awesome. All right, and so this is the last one. This is a bonus G moment, okay? So I don't know if you saw Jill Scott recently made a video. So just do it. I'm just gonna show you a quick little bit of it. So, and again, we'll kind of have a little highlight for you. But essentially, Jill Scott is singing and performing air fellatio to a microphone. I did pull out my pen and pad. Because I was like,
That's a G move.
that's a G move.
That's a talent. Okay?
That
Not everyone can do that, so we need to appreciate
Girl.
that.
Okay, shout out to Miss Scott.
Thank you,
because
Miss Scott.
that was a G move. Okay. Do you think that so some people were like, oh, Jill Scott did that during a live performance, and some people felt like it was a little much. Most people, including myself, loved it. So my question to you is, will you think that was a G move or an X move?
Chelsea, you see me on stage. You know I think that's a G move.
That's
man.
a G move?
That's right, man.
All
Hey,
right.
dude. Hey, I'm all about sexual stimulation. You know.
And why not do a lesson during a live concert when you have a whole audience there? I
Exactly.
feel like that is just respectful.
That's
know?
right, you
That's
public
giving
school
her
health
time. She didn't have to
teachers.
share her tricks. I pulled out a pen and notepad personally. I was like, all right, let's. No.
I know. I didn't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Breezy girl. Done.
Baby.
Boom.
Bye.
First interview done.
Thank you, guys.
Guys, this is Grow on the Street. Okay. This is beautiful Breezy.
Grown
Oh,
Street, baby.
and Breezy, where we at, by the way?
We're on Melrose at the Antidote, my beautiful CBD shop.
Yes.
Come in here. It's non-psychoactive for all patients. Everyone want to come in. And
Oh, yeah, we
take a
go.
little look around.
Oh, we in here. Okay.
Get the atmosphere.
The atmosphere, beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yes. And this, you own this shop.
No, I just work here.
Oh, well, girl, I was about to say, girl,
Look,
that means that you take pride in what you do because you came and you was like, oh, yes, this is the best shop.
Right, this is
All
the
right.
shop, though.
All right. Well, fantastic, Breezy. It's been real. Peace.
On the streets, baby.
Oh, on the street.
All right.
Well, thanks, Jared.
Oh, no problem.
I'll see you in these streets.
I'll see you in the
Well,
streets.
ladies and gentlemen, Jared Levin. Jared, you want to shout out your IG or anything?
Yeah, it's my name spelled backwards. Dirage Novell.
All right. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We'll also put his IG on for you as well. This has been another edition of Grow on the Street. Jared Levin, G or X. It's up to you.
Wolf Blister, you suck.
Hello. If you're wondering why I'm speaking like this, it's because it's time for a new segment called Grow Money. All right, because we're about them coins, okay? You gotta be about them coins. And I'm at the point now where I want to transition in my finances, right? I'm gonna start doing a segment. I have met some really great accountants or people who just have way more money in the bank account than I do. And I have decided that those are the advices that I'm going to be taking. Because that's the thing about finances, right? Is that they're super intimidating. It's intimidating to go through and be like, oh man, I've got all this debt, I've got all these bills, but then my bills are like 100,000 times my income, which is zero. So it's crazy, you know, it's just so much. And then it can feel overwhelming. And like, you know, myself, you know, dealing with like anxiety and stresses like that, it can be overwhelming, especially being an artist. So I feel this way. I know other people feel this way. And the number one advice he gave me, which I'll share with you, is take any income you get ever. If somebody gives you $5 or $20 or $1,000, immediately put 10% of that in a savings account. And he told me this, and the second he said it, I was like, that sounds doable. So for the next 30 days, I did that. And all of a sudden, I noticed the more that I saved, the more I was getting money from random places. I would get, you know, a stranger would give me $20, or a friend would just say, hey, you know, I've got your lunch, or something like that would happen. And I realized, like, after a month, I looked at my savings account, I was like, okay, bowling. for me, you know. It just was more than 25 cents in my savings account, like for the first time in 3 years. So I'm sharing that advice because that helped me. I mean, just the fact that from 1 month of making one financial habit change, my savings account went from a quarter to like some quarters, okay? Really some bills, you know? It's nice to have bills in your savings. And then, and then in turn, I will say with that money, I did use that money to put out my first comedy album, Down Dog, which is now available on iTunes, Spotify, Apple Music, all the listening sites. And I'm really excited about that. But it was, you know, something I had to pay for, but because I had saved, I had the money. And then I also recently had to get new headshots, but because I had saved, and for the longest time I would think, you know, I can't do this, I don't have the money. And it's like, no, I just was going to Chipotle too much, you know? It's expensive. The guac is extra, okay? So, guys, this has been an intro to Grow Money. Please stay tuned next week. We'll go into more detail about all the, like I said, the letters that are miraculously involved in numbers. So, cheers. This has been Grow Money. Hi, so this is a new segment I'm really excited that we're adding to Grow Up, and it's called Growing Pains. And essentially, I'm going to be having different guests on, and we're going to be talking about some things that we went through in our lives where it was tough and it was a growing, painful experience, but we grew a lot out of it, basically, you know. And so this is my first guest, very funny and talented comedian, Yema Nkele, and we're going to be sharing right now. So Yema, like I said, for Growing Pains, I feel like it's important for us to share, like, you know, things that we've gone through with other people, because I feel like that helps other people grow. I know I've personally learned a lot from when people are sharing their stories and stuff. And so, just out of curiosity, how long, first of all, you're from LA, right?
Yeah, I'm from LA.
And you've been doing stand-up comedy for how long again?
3 years.
3 years, cool. All right, cool. So, but you've been, you know, we've all been through stuff, you know what I'm saying? So really what I want to know from you is, like, in your life, has there been like a moment or a time in your period where you went through something and it was like a really like painful, like it's one of those things where it's like, dang, I don't know how I got through that, but I did. And you know what you learned from it?
I mean, we've all gone through it. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what, how, if we're still here, we've gone through it. Straight up. I don't know, man, which one is really one that was really, really tough. Middle school a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
Middle school is when I really learned, like, to stand up for myself. I had to deal with, I grew up in the burbs, and yeah, like, I've had the N-word dropped in my face more than a couple of times.
Oh, like
And,
in the face, like direct, like somebody rolled up on you and just kind of like. You would think that in the California burbs it doesn't happen that often, but like as far as drive-by niggers, it's not absurd. Yeah. I got accused of stealing something out of somebody's backpack, and got called the N-word, and I didn't. Like, I found it. Like, it was on the floor, and these are the middle school streets, bro. You think I'm going back for somebody and gonna give you back a pencil pack? Like, I'm not going out my way. Right, yeah.
Take these good-ass mechanical pencils and keep it pushing. Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, like, I got called the N-word, and I made sure to steal his shit next time I had an opportunity.
Okay, yeah, revenge. Yeah, naturally. Well, can I ask, like, okay, you know, I got called, it's so funny you mentioned that because I actually got called the N-word in middle school. There was a girl, and, you know, she was blonde hair, blue-eyed, you know, not to be stereotypical, but sometimes life is stereotypical, right? So she kicked a terrible ball. It was kickball. She kicked it. It came directly in my hands. It was like a gift. It fell in my hands like a present, you know? So I just caught it. And then she was out, and my team won, and she just stood there, and she yelled at me, and she was like, Chelsea, you stupid freaking nigger! She just, like, yelled at me, and she was like, you stupid freaking, like, this is explicit, growing pains. And so she was like, screamed it across the whole playground. And I remember like, it just hit me like a knife, because I mean, I was 9 and I'd never been called one, directly before. But then it was like a lesson. It was like, wow, like this is really what be going on,
Honestly, I had never even, like, my parents are Nigerian, and so all my rap was on TV, like it was edited. Like, I never, like, the first time I got called it, I didn't know what it was. Like,
right.
But the tone let me know that I'll punch you in your face.
Yeah.
Like, that's what,
right.
like, that was it. It was just, I don't like this. I don't like the way you're phrasing this. You're a nigger and you don't belong here. That was the first time it was said to me in the 4th grade. No, I switched schools, 3rd grade. So it was 3rd grade.
Oh,
and
earlier. Okay.
Yeah, and so that was the first, and I just was like, I didn't know what it meant, but it was immediately, nah.
Yeah, like, nah.
Just, I don't like
Rosa
the way,
Parks, nah.
I don't like the way that rolled out.
Yeah. Right. Well, see, and that was obvious. I'm assuming that being young and being called that, once you felt like the aggression from it, was it a painful experience that it kind of affect you, and like, how did you get through that? You know what I'm saying? Like, and deal with it.
Like, it was affecting in the sense, like, it made me mad. Like, it used to really be like a thing, like it would trigger me and that kind of stuff, but then it became, but middle school was when I started like roasting people. Was because I used to get mad, like I used to fight people, and then one time, like, I heard, like, he was like, we're gonna just get you kicked out of school, and they kept saying it. And so that was really the objective, was to try and make it so that I'd get into another fight and just leave this and just be kicked out of school. And so I just started roasting people. And luckily, at the time, Snoop Dogg had his show on MTV, Doggy Fizzle Television.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, he had Doggy Fizzle Television, and that was the first time. And he walked up to some cops, and he was like, "You white bread chicken shit motherfucker!" And he knocked the shit out their hand. And so I was like, we can, like, there's shit for white people.
Yeah, right.
And I went to school loaded up.
Yeah, you was ready. So you just like stacked them up, and you were like, boom, 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 like, yeah.
Yeah, and then that was the first time I came to school with that. You know when you had the roasts ready, like like when you could, like when you were like, ooh, I wish I thought of this in time. And then that was the first time I came, and I was just like, blah, like, but like, yeah, everything, like, but before that, like, I luckily had the benefit of being like, I've never been the smallest person in my classroom. Like,
yeah.
So, yeah, and so, like, that's never been, like, a thing. And my brothers, I have 2 older brothers. I was not, I knew how to take a punch before I walked into I walked into the school. Like, I'm not afraid of any of you kids.
That's awesome. Well, that's awesome. That's interesting, though. It's interesting because it's like, even though you were physically, bigger, it's like, you still have had to deal with, like, how that made you feel. And I love the fact that it's like, you were using your physicality at one point to combat what was happening, but it seems to me like you got to a point where you're like, no, I have to use my mind and my words and stuff like that. I mean, that's cool. You do not get arrested as much for verbal beatdowns.
Yeah, so. and point blank period. Yeah, and I can go into an argument with anybody. Like, we can talk about it. Like, I don't have a problem with anybody who's like a straight up racist. It's just that you don't believe it. Like, until I see until I hear that callback to 911 that's like, excuse me, dispatcher, you said the nigger and a Mexican? If you could send a white I would just rather my wife die than take their help. Like, you're not committed to, you're not committed.
Yeah, exactly. You're not committed to the race. It's like selective with it, like.
Yeah, and so, but also, I'll straight up, I'll call you out on your BS. I'll straight up toe to toe, because whatever you say that you believe, bro. Oh, you're not really about it. Like, we can argue this all the way through, or I'll just roast. Like,
right, or you're right. It's just battle. It's a verbal battle. Yeah. Well, I want to ask you this last thing. Like, okay, so it seems like this was like an experience where, like you said, you had to stick up for yourself. You had to learn how to like put your foot down, and you had to learn, to transition from using, physicality to your mind and verbal. So, what advice would you give to like anybody that is struggling with that? Because I'm sure there's somebody right now that is struggling with that thing where they're maybe whether it's a kid being teased at school or whether they're a young adult and maybe somebody at work is disrespecting them. It's like, and you can't do the physical thing. Like, what advice would you share, like, to help them get past that to like where you're at?
You gotta. Everything is as powerful as you let it be. It's like, if you don't, it's like, you don't believe in the devil, that's what the devil, like, you don't feed the devil. Like, that's just pretty much what it is. Like, and so, like, it was, because, they had to start figuring out, you have to start actually saying something about me, like, to actually hurt my feel, like, to get a rise out of me. Like, you're not going to just say something. And you're not gonna just throw something out there and be able to get a rise out of me. Like, it has to be some, like, it's the only people who can hurt you is people that know you, like know you. And it's like, sometimes you gotta cut those toxic people out their life if they know you like that and they gonna really throw your demons back in your face. Sometimes you gotta spin out of into a different circle, and otherwise you just gotta be like, bro, you don't what are you talking about? Like, because it's like,
because it's like, you, like, no, I know, and that's a lesson too, like being like, no, I'm secure in who I am, so I'm not gonna. Because
like, I started roasting people, like, because it's like, I started getting, like, I was like, how you gonna call me a nigga? My GPA is way higher. Like,
right,
like which one of us can't read, bro? Like, which one of us can't read? Like, so, clearly. And so it's like, like, knowing, like, like, you can't, like, what can you tell me about me? Like, you don't know.
You don't, and I will say, my mom gave me some good advice when I was younger. She told me, she said, whenever somebody says something to you or about you, consider the source, okay? She was like, you wouldn't ask a plumber for medical advice, It's just like, so what do you do with this heart here that's out of this person's chest? Like, I don't know, just hand me a wrench. Wrong source, Yeah.
No, that's the perfect analogy. Cause it's like it's like, who spit, like, when you listen, like, when the people actually spit the things at you, it's always like, you're like, the quality of the insult is always level to the quality of the person. Like, bro, I bet you Chris Rock can hurt my feelings way better than like way better than a trailer park kid.
Exactly.
Like, cause that's right. You ain't.
And I won't be mad at him because I'll be like, that was good.
It's like, oh shit.
There was a premise, there's a punchline, you had a callback, like, Chris Rock would insult you with a callback, like.
If you take the time, that's why the internet dangerous. The internet's dangerous because people take the time to go through your whole Instagram and start crafting insults.
Your whole scroll, man. It's just,
the internet. There's too much time in that keyboard to craft that insult. Like,
like, how many times did you edit this? Like.
Did you enlarge this picture to find find something in the reflection of the mirror to insult?
To find a speck of dirt or some. Is that toothpaste on your mirror? Like,
and so that's
fresh breath.
But even still, it's a little bit harder because you don't know if lots of the time that icon is a cat.
Yeah.
It's just a cat icon, and just cats can't talk shit. Just accept that the source is.
They can meow it.
Yeah, they can meow that shit.
Meow, and like meow. Little cat shake.
Yeah, cats be talking all that shit, bro. I don't like no cat. Oh, you walking, lift its tail up at me. I got deep beef with cats in the streets.
Okay, so it sounds like the highlights of this conversation were you. No cats. no cats. Like, and don't come for me unless I send for you, okay, with the verbals. All right. And believe in yourself. Because you don't.
That's it.
Well, thank you.
You'll grow through it.
You will grow through it. That's why this is Growing Pains, man. You know what, Yema, thank you so much for coming through. And Yema also has gonna have his own show here on Channel 310. Want to talk a little bit about that real quick?
Oh, it's the hate space.
Very positive.
Yes. Because people, I hate like too many people have to be positive. Why are we always trying to fake being positive?
Yeah.
Like,
no, I feel you. I'm angry at a lot more stuff than I let on.
Yeah, lots of the time, you go on social media and it's like, I get it. Like, we try and spread positivity and all that. But man, everything don't make you wake up and be like, oh,
right.
Messed up my shoes. God better. Like, bro, like.
Oh man,
I love that. Another ticket, another 75 on my account. Woo!
Woo, all right, another overdraft fee.
Yeah, like,
let's do this day.
And so yeah, sometimes you just gotta let it out.
Yeah.
As long as and some gripes are valid. Some things need to be called out for the BS on it.
Agreed. Yema, thank you so much. Check out Hate Space, coming soon to Channel 310. And this has been Growing Pains. It's time for another edition of Grow Up. Welcome back. Season 1, pilot, Grow Up. All right, time to share a lesson, guys. All right, so I want to talk about hoes versus non-hoes, all right? That's what I want to talk about because these are two categories of women that exist, and I believe that every woman falls in these two categories. You are either a hoe or you are not a hoe. Hoes have hoe energy, non-hoes do not. It's pretty straightforward, okay? But I do think that these two women can learn to coexist, but we have to be honest about some responsibilities on both ends, okay? And some things we have to realize. I'll start with hoes. Hoes, listen, if you're a hoe, own it. And sometimes women go through hoe phases, but there's a difference between a hoe phase and being a true hoe. And if you are a true hoe, I want you to own it and live in it. Don't lie. Introduce yourself correctly. So shake your hand out and say, hi, I'm a hoe. Nice to meet you. And I also want you to know that you should never bring me around any guy that you're ever interested in, or your father, or any male ever that you don't want me to have sex with, because I will probably try to have sex with him because I am a hoe. But bring me to all the events with your gays, honey, because you know I could just sit there and kiki with them and it will be no problem. So okay, that's one thing. That's a reality. Introduce yourself correctly. Also, another thing about hoes, I need you to understand that karma doesn't skip anybody. Because I feel like I talk to hoes, if you really sit and you talk to a hoe, and they'll say things like, you know, honestly, like, I just really feel like I just have met my husband by now. Like, I just don't know where he is. I mean, and it's like, girl, you have broken up 1,800 relationships in the last 6 weeks. You are going for a new Guinness record. And the thing is like, you don't even care. It's like you hear that a guy has a girlfriend and you're like, oh, red flag, time to go hoe. Here's the thing, that's fine. I'm not judging you. Be you. I don't want to tell anybody how to be anymore. Be you. You want to be a hoe, girl, hoe it up, okay? But I got to tell you, there's a lot of hoes ahead of you, okay? So, you know, if you're going to be a hoe, be top shelf, okay? Have highest standards for your hoe-ness, okay? So, at the end of the day, it is a responsibility, I do think, of hoes to be upfront. But on the flip side, you know, hoes need to grow up. You need to grow up and realize that you cannot expect to have the most faithful man in the world when you are a key factor in so much infidelity. It doesn't make sense. And yeah, I know that there are hoes out here that are getting rings and stuff like that, but let me tell you about a married hoe, a hoe who broke up a marriage and then is now married to that man. That is a paranoid hoe, okay? That's parahoia, okay? Parahoia. It's a paranoia, but of the hoe kind, where you're constantly stressed and wondering, hey, is my man, what's he doing? Every time his phone goes off, you're gonna be wondering, because you were that girl on the other phone. You were that girl doing that shady stuff, and boo-boo, let me tell you something. Ain't nothing worth your peace, okay? You may have the man that you think you won a prize because you got a man who clearly is comfortable cheating and he knows you're comfortable cheating, girl, that is a poor hoe decision. But you know what? Live your life. And I do think you need to grow up. All right, and on the flip side, non-hoes, listen, obviously I fall in this category along with, so many other, wonderful women that I respect and honor and cherish. And I want all the non-hoes, I want us to, yes, be aware of that, but we have to also be accountable non-hoes, okay? We have to trust our instincts, okay? We have women's intuition. Hoes and non-hoes alike have intuition, and it's like Luke and Darth Vader, okay? We use our intuition for good, warning signs, whereas hoes use their intuition to, intercede in a happy relationship. That's, so use your Yoda wisely. But non-hoes, we have to go with our gut feelings. Hoes have red flags, and you have to pay attention to them, okay? I mean, if they're asking you excessive questions about your man, why is that? If they're asking about the length and size of his penis, why is that? If they ask your man questions about their appearance, or they're constantly being flirty and extra too giggly, or they're constantly wearing sexy outfits and sexy little, we all know, ladies, when a woman is trying to get a guy's attention, okay? It's called thirst. So I suggest that non-hoes, we need to start carrying around more water so that we can hydrate these hoes, as a service, just as a service. And I really want non-hoes to remember that your first instinct is the truth each time. Watch out for the hoe red flags, and just don't be afraid to trust, okay? Because for every hoe out there, I do believe there's a good man that will turn her down. 1 out of every 100, and maybe 100,000. But you know what, girl? Keep pushing, because non-hoes, we're making a comeback, okay? And hoes, y'all had your moment, okay, and that's cool, all right? But just like the house got flipped, the hoes about to get flipped, okay? Because the non-hoes are about to flow and glow up. And that's it, that's it. I just want to share, hoes and non-hoes. I hope that I am, have shown ways in which both parties can grow up and in some way coexist in some sort of way. Or not coexist, but if we do, we are aware of each other's red flags and behavior, okay? All right, that's been my first episode of Grow Up. That's been the pilot episode, and I am really grateful and excited. Thank you to Erica Benate. Thank you to Niles Epson. Thank you to Darren Davis. Thank you to Lila Hart. Thank you to the entire Channel 310 staff for all their support, helping me develop this into a show. And stay tuned. We'll be bringing a lot more to you. I am Chelse Greaux, signing off.